So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are doing Chapter 8, Lesson 4 on the volume of prisms. Our learning goal is that students will be able to find the volume of prisms. Be sure to write down absolutely everything that is typed or written in these videos and pause this video at any time that you need to slow things down. Copy this table below. These are formulas for rectangular prisms and triangular prisms. And we are working with volume, so these are both of the volume formulas. Now, I will say that this is a volume formula for triangular prisms, but my personal favorite for the volume of triangular prisms is volume is equal to length times width times height divided by 2. Length times width times height, because if you've got a rectangle, a triangle is half of a rectangle, right? So if a triangle is a rectangle divided by 2, then a triangular prism is a rectangular prism divided by 2. So for a rectangular prism, it's length times width times height. So for a triangular prism, it's length times width times height divided by 2. And in my opinion, that's a whole lot easier than the formula that this says. This says the half of the base times the height. That's for the triangle, and then times the height of the pyramid. So you can find the area for the base of the triangle, and then multiply that times the height of the figure, and that will also give you the volume. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to find the volume for this, it's length times width times height, or base times width times height. So volume is equal to 5 times 10 times 7. So 5 times 10 is 50, and 50 times 7, do it like this. And 50 times 7 is 350. So 350 inches cubed. Remember, when we are working with volume, it's always cubed with a little 3 at the top. Okay, so here again we are finding the volume of this rectangular prism. Rectangular prism is just a fancy word for a box. Rectangular prism is just a box. So remember that when we're dealing with those. Volume is equal to base times width times height. So our volume, our substitution step will be 1.1 times 1.5 times 2.6. So then you just punch those numbers into your calculator. 1.1 times 1.5 times 2.6, and you get 4 and 29/100 millimeters cubed. Now, up here it says round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Remember, when you are rounding to the nearest tenth, you need to underline the tenths place and look back at the number behind it. If that number is a 5 or higher, then you bump the tenths place up. If it is a 0 to 4, you would leave it alone. So it's going to be bumped up to 4.3 millimeters cubed. Okay, so now we've got the volume of a triangular prism. So base times width times height divided by 2. So our base, width, and height is 12 times 6 times 8. All divided by 2. 2. So 12 times 6 times 8. $576. So now we have 576 divided by 2. And we get 288. So our volume is 288 meters cubed. 288 meters cubed. Okay, so this is also a triangular prism. So volume equals base times width times height divided by 2. Our base, width, and height is 4.2 times 2 times 3.5. And then we are dividing all of that by 2. 4.2. So 4.2 times 2 times 3.5 is 29 4/10. And now we are dividing that by 2. And we are getting 14 7/10 feet cubed. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow.